First of all, let me thank Andra for inviting me. I love to give back freely what was freely given. Come on now, so that I get to keep it. See, I've always believed if God gives you a blessing, you're supposed to share that blessing. Because if God gives you a blessing, I know y'all just have to go. But if God gives you a blessing, and you don't know what to do with that blessing, He'll take it from you and give it to somebody who knows what to do with it.
Hey,
I talk about everybody, but respectfully. Now, let's start on the preachers. I promise not to be before you long. Every preacher says that, right? So just like that, I promise I'll have you all out of here by Friday, 5 o'clock.
Hopefully y'all can hear him okay.
Well, nobody lies more than the preacher. They lie every Sunday. I promise not to be before you long. And then, 2 hours later, you're looking at their watch. I'm about to wrap this up. When they say that, you can probably wait another 30 minutes for the second line. Just stay with me. I'm about to close this right now. But that's the preacher, so anyway. But I see we have a lot of older people in here. Is there any married couples in here?
Not yet.
Not yet, all right.
Hey, Big G.
When you say not yet, do you know what yet, the acronym for that is? You're eligible too. All right. Now let me ask y'all this then. Who do you think is the smartest, men or women? Women. That was a resounding yes. And guess what? I have to agree with you. Can I prove it?
Yes.
My grandmother and my grandfather from Mississippi and Alabama.
Hey, Nikki Johnson.
This was back when they didn't have paved roads. The roads were dirt. And so my grandfather and my grandmother would have to ride the horse into town. One day, it started raining. It was about 10 miles from the city. And the horse just stopped dead in the middle of the track. My grandfather and my grandmother was on the horse, and he was like, "Come on, boy, get up. And the horse wouldn't do nothing. So he said, "Hold on, baby." He got off the horse, he walked around, he looked the horse in the face. He said, "Now, doggone it, that's one time." Got back on the horse, rode another 2 or 3 miles, it really started raining again. The horse stopped again. He said, "Come on now, boy, giddy up. We got to get to town. Giddy up. The horse wouldn't do nothing. He said, "Hold on, baby." Got off the horse, turned around and looked the horse in the face again. He said, "Now, doggone it, that's 2 times. Got back on the horse. They got about 3 miles from town, and the horse just stopped in the middle of dead rain. This time, he said, "Baby, get off this horse." Helped my grandmother get off the horse. He walked around there, looked at the horse, and shot him dead in the head. Fire! My grandmother, she looked at my grandfather, she said, "Now why would you shoot the horse?" He turned around and looked at my grandmother. He said, "Now doggone it, that's 1 time." And she never asked me nothing else, so she outlived it. Now, let me tell you something else about old couples. See, I learned a lot from my grandmother and grandfather. I watched them grow old together. One day, my grandmother and my grandfather, they were sitting at the kitchen table eating breakfast. And my grandfather, he got up, he looked at my grandmother, he said, "Baby," he said, "Go get my coat, I'm going to the doctor." He said, "Well, baby, what's wrong? Why do you have to go to the doctor?" He said, "Oh, baby, you know me and you've been married a long time. We ain't been very active." He said, "I think I'm going to go get me some of that Viagra." So my grandmother, she went up. She went in, she got his coat. She came back, she said, "Here, baby." And she put her coat on too. He said, "Well, where you going?" She said, "I'm going with you to the doctor." He said, "Why you need to go to the doctor?" My grandmother took a look at him and she said, "Baby, let me tell you something. If you think you're getting ready to start cutting into me with that old rusty thing, I'm going to get a tetanus shot." But I'm just saying.
Hello, everybody. Enjoy the little comedian that's performing for us today at Quality Life.
And I just said, just can't take you nowhere. Well, I don't discriminate. I like it. I used to go with a lady that had one leg, and I would be getting drunk. I'd come in at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and she looked at me and she said, "Where you been?" I said, "Go on somewhere, sit down. Leave me alone." She looked at me with some questions. She said, "I won't stand for this." I pushed her, she found out. I said, "Don't look like you're standing for nothing." Then,
And me.
right. And then I had a lady with one eye. I'd come in. She said, "Where you been?" I said, "Oh, I've been out." She said, "I'm gonna have to watch you. I got my eye on you." I said, "Well, I wish you put it back on you."
I got go.
Definitely at work.
That's cool. We all right. Then I had a lady. I really ain't talking about her because this wasn't her fault. It might have been genetically. But she was real slow. Slow. You know how slow she was? It would take her an hour and a half. An hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. I couldn't figure that out. I said, "Baby, what are you doing with the other 30 minutes?" She said, "I'm just changing the channels." But that was okay. I knew this one guy. He was rich, and he lived in a mansion. Had 5 bathrooms. But he would go outside and boo-boo in the front yard. And the pastor would come down the street, he'd say, "Sir, that's very disrespectful. You got this nice house. You shouldn't do this." He said, I know, but he did it consistently. So
No.
the pastor came to me and said, "We're going to pray on this night."
No way.
So for the next 3 months, the man used the toilet in the house. Then one day, he come outside.
Just double tap the screen.
Suddenly hit him that he wanted to use the bathroom in the front yard. But he looked up and he saw the preacher. So he didn't want to let the preacher down. So you know what he did? The preacher was coming. He took his hat off and put it over the boo-boo. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Nothing, Pastor." He said, "Well, what's under that hat?" He said, "Angel." He said, "Angel? Well, I'm a pastor. Let me see him." He said, No. He said, "But I'm a pastor. Please, let me see him. This is a miracle." And he just reached over and grabbed a hat and pulled it up. And you know what the man told the pastor? He said, "See there? You done scared the boo-boo out of him." Are y'all enjoying yourselves?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I had to put some new stuff together because, see, when I'm in the secular world, I can operate in another venue. But if you're a good comedian, you got to be able to operate in any venue. So I thank God for giving me the insight. Like I said, plus it's an honor and a privilege to be here to serve y'all. See, I'm trying to get to heaven. I'm trying to get to heaven because I read the Bible. Didn't I just have devotion? And see, the Bible has told me when I get to heaven that my Father has a place with many, many mansions for me. I've been to heaven before. I got kicked out twice. No, I gotta tell the truth. See, when I was in heaven, I was walking around looking for my mansion. He said, "This is your area right here, my son." I said, "What?" He said, "Right here." I said, "Man, this looks like the Section 8 district." So that was on the way of getting me kicked out. But what actually got me kicked out was when I got to heaven, he said, "Miracles you'd like to see." And right away, me being who I am, coming from Brightwood, I said, "Man, I sure like to be that guy that turns that water into wine." So they can't have no white heads in heaven. So I got that. But that's okay. Y'all probably didn't get that one. If any alcoholics in here, you'll get it over the way home. Sometimes things go over our head and not right directly. Is there any subjects that we need to discuss? Anybody having problems with their parents? I'm having problems with my mom. She's up in age right now. And see, she didn't come from an era of technology. So she'll call me over to her house and look at me and say, son, this, because she got a cell phone, but we didn't get her no out. We got the most simplest one going, a flip phone, just flip it over and call. But she'll call me over there to say that the house phone ain't working. I said, well, Mom, what's wrong? She said, look at this. This phone just won't even dial out. So I look at her, I said, Mom, do you understand that's the remote control? It goes to the TV. But it's okay, it's okay. See, it's a privilege to be able to do for your parents. Because one day they're not going to be here. So we have to understand what that is. And don't take it for granted. It's not that they might not be here, because we might be superseding their time. So he comes like a thief in the night. Let's be ready. Y'all believe in Jesus Christ? Yes. All right. Do y'all know if Jesus Christ was on earth today, what kind of car he might drive? Chrysler. Sounds pretty good. Any other ideas, suggestions? A Benz. A Benz. Oh, yeah, he's rich. He's richer than the King of Kings. So that's a good probability. But if you believe in your Bible, it gives us direct, distinct instructions on what kind of car Jesus would drive. You go to the book of Corinthians, he had a car that was big enough. All his disciples, his friends, to ride with him. It said him and all his apostles was in one accord. It was all in one accord. Sometimes it takes things.
Hey, Donna Peoples.
And I also believe that it teaches us, the Bible teaches us that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all one and the same. Right? So here's the thing I struggle with. If they're all one and the same, if Jesus died, who raised who? Some things you got your head about. But here's where it gets real good for us. It gives us a lot of faith. See, I don't believe that Jesus was able to raise himself from the dead 3 days later. Why do you think he would let himself be on the cross? If he could raise himself from the dead in 3 days, I really don't think that a couple of nails and a hammer could do him any injustice. Here's why. There are some people on earth that have been shot 6 times and survived. I think his name is 50 Cent. Y'all know 50 Cent? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, I know a guy, we used to work together. He had a son. And his son was real bad. He was always getting kicked out of school. So he made a deal with his son. He said, son.
Welcome in, everybody.
And his son had hair down here. He said, son, if you do 3 things for me to make me and your mama happy, I'll buy you a brand new car. He said, okay, Daddy. He said, what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to bring your grades up, study the Bible, and graduate from high school, cut your hair. He said, okay. So the next 2 years, young man did all of it. Graduated from high school, studied the Bible. So he said, Dad, I graduate this year. I'm ready for my car. He said, well, son, do you think you did everything I asked you to do? He said, yeah. He said, I studied the Bible and I graduated from high school. He said, but son, you didn't cut your hair. He said, Daddy, I was waiting on you to say something about that. He said, in my study of the Bible, I found out that Jesus had long hair all his life. His father looked at me and said, you know what else about Jesus? He said, what? He said, everywhere on earth he went, he walked. Everywhere he went, he walked. That's what now,
Both of y'all enjoy the
Andre
show.
told me that I was her brother. That's true. Andre know her mama and her daddy. I just found out who my daddy was. And it was heartbreaking. I remember I was growing up. Father, mother was there. My mom said, son, I want you to do your homework, clean up your room, and say your prayers. So I love my family. I said, cleaned up my room, done my homework, got down on my knees, and I said, Lord,
Welcome, Angel.
bless
Welcome to the membership.
my family. Bless my mom, bless my dad, bless my uncle. Next morning I got up to go to school, my uncle was laying on the front porch dead. I said, Mom, I don't think the Lord likes me. She said, why? I said, I asked you to bless everybody, and my uncle did. She said, son, death is a part of life. She said, just keep your faith. I said, okay. So, the next day, I came home, she said, get on your duties, son. I said, all right. So I did my homework, cleaned up my room, got down on my knees. I said, Lord, bless my mom, bless my dad, bless my dog. Next day I got up to go to school, went out on the front porch, there lay my dog dead. I said, see, Mama, I told you, the Lord don't like
Dog
me.
film.
She said, no, baby, I keep telling you death is a part of things. It's a part of life. I said, okay. So when I came home that evening, she said, now, son, I'm trying to show you what faith will get you.
Prayers to your mom,
Said,
Tia.
go ahead and do your duty.
So sorry to hear that.
With the dog in.
Did my homework, cleaned up my room, got down on my knees to pray. Thought about it. I said, boy, the Lord take everything I love. So when I said my prayer, I left this one out. I said, Lord, bless my daddy. So I got up and go to school, walked out on the front porch. Guess who was laying on the concrete?
What you made?
The milkman.
Oh, wow.
All right. Where's that lady with the juice?
Miss Brenda.
Oh, did she?
Lorenzo, bring that juice.
She got it, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, Marty, you silly. The milkman. Man, what's that?
Yeah, it was the milkman.
I sure wish you could tell the one about the little.
I guess I do look a little homogenized, what you think? Oh, no. 2%. You know, do y'all know why we should believe in the Lord? See, I like to go back and forth in a lot of areas. Plus, I like to send and give messages too. Do you know how strong God's word is? It's strong enough that when he called Lazarus from the grave, what did he do? Yeah, but who did he ask for? He said, Lazarus, come forth. You know why he just asked for Lazarus? Because his voice is so strong, if he'd have just said, come forth, the whole graveyard would have been. And the only one Lazarus. But now check this out. He wants all of us. So When our footsteps is ordered, let's don't deviate from this track. I don't know how much time I got. What time is it? What time do y'all eat lunch?
No, 20 minutes.
We got about 15 more minutes.
15 more minutes, okay, we can make that. There was a lady,
Right here with the crew.
and she was somewhat old, but she was fighting. And she was an old lady with a walker, and she went to the CVS. I'll be on the guy, but I gotta tell the truth. She went to the CVS. She was on a walker. The young boy was in there, and she said, "Son, could you help me?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "How can I help you, man?" She said, "Well, I need some AAA batteries." Yeah. He looked at her, he said, "No problem, ma'am. Come right this way with me." She started fussing him
Thanks for
upside
watching,
the head.
Angel.
He said, "What do I do?" She said, "Young man, if I could come like that, I wouldn't need the AAA batteries."
Marty, tell the boy about the little boy. Remember you asked,
Oh, little boy, you don't think that's over, you don't think that'd be over the top? Now, this is under request. All right,
we all grown.
we all grown, my grandson,
Listen to this one, Rose.
well, it's for me before that. My grandson, he done got put out of school, summer school already. And men and women, remember that you your kids' role model. Don't let them be Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, nobody else.
The
You their
kids
role
went
model.
here.
So my grandson get put out of high school, summer school, just last year.
Dude.
Yeah. So I called the school, and she said, "Well, he said he want to be just like you." I said, "Okay. All right, I'll have to talk to him when we get home." I said, "Well, what exactly happened?" She
Well,
said,
he
"Well,
works.
he's taking the English class," and I looked at him and I asked him. She said, "Dejan,
I was
can you
your
use the word fascinate in a sentence?" He said, "Oh yeah, that's easy." He said, "I got a real beautiful aunt. And she got the biggest boobs you ever seen. She got a blouse that she was trying to fasten up. It had 10 buttons on it, but when she got to the top, she found out she could only fasten 8.
She can only fasten 8 of the buttons.
I got you. Don't y'all put me out, cause Andre asked me to do it.
This is a good one. It's kind of ugly, a little bit.
My grandson came over. Me and my grandson, we hang out a lot. He came over,
This one, Rose.
and he spent the night with us. So the next day he came in and he said, "Papa, can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know what part of the human body goes to heaven first?" So I looked at him. I said, "Well, son, I would assume that it's our brain, because God knows our mind." He said, So I looked at him, I said, "Well, son, do you think it might be our heart, because God knows our heart?" He said, I said, "Do you know?" He said, I said, "Well, what part is it?" He said, "It's the legs." I said, "The legs?" I said, "How do you know that?" He said, "Well, Papa, you had to stay home this weekend. And when you and Grandma was in the bedroom, y'all left the door open. I just kept hearing Grandma screaming and hollering. So I walked past. He said her legs were straight up in the air. And she kept hollering. And she just kept hollering, "Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! I'm coming! I'm coming!" Now that's the one I get an applause on. You people. Put her jacket on. Other guys give me a standing ovation on that, but y'all be telling y'all. Yeah. What are you gonna do with them, boss?
You can't do
Just
nothing
goes
with
to
it.
show, you know, everything ain't always what it appears to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank y'all. You know what? I would come see y'all regular, because I got more joy from this than which I think I might be giving y'all. See, that's what this is about, this sharing, you know. See, people never understand or look at things in this perspective or context. See, there are 2 days that'll be the most important days in your life. Number one is the day you were born. But that gets super exceeded by the second day that becomes the number one day in your life. You know what that day will be? That'll be the day when you find out what your purpose for being born was. We all have a purpose. You know, and our purpose is to be together, to make each other happy, to share joy, and be humble, and to be God's servant. But I ain't watching nobody's feet. That's the only one that counts, yeah. I remember my aunt.
BBB's in the chat if you're enjoying, Marty.
She taught me how to read. She really did. Because, see, growing up in her house was like a robbery. You know, get your boy and sit down right now. I'll pop you. Say another word, I'll pop you. Stuff like that. But here's how she taught me how to read. See, back in my days, they had phrases that could traumatize a child for life. See, my aunt used to look at me and she said, if you don't sit your butt down, boy, I'll listen to it. She said, I'll slap the cowboy piss out your ass. So as soon as I learned how to read, I was in the dictionary. I found cowboy hat, cowboy belt, cowboy buckle, cowboy boots. I never found cowboy piss. I said, she was getting ready to do something to me that did not even exist. You know what I mean? I tell you. But we gave. See, if they had child abuse laws when I was growing up, it's a distinct possibility that my people might now just be getting out of jail. See, because I got hit with whatever was available. Go outside and give me a switch so I can take care of you. I got to switch that law. My mother told me one day, she said, son, you know you done messed up. She said, when you get through cutting that grass, I'm going to spank you, I'm going to whoop you. I went out there and was cutting the grass with some scissors. It took me 3 weeks. Hey, listen, I know y'all want to get ready to eat. I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to stand here in front of you. I perform in bigger venues, but this is a more blessed venue. See, this is a crowd of appreciation, you know. And anytime you want me, it'll be an honor, it'll be a privilege, but more importantly, it'll be God's will.
Amen.
Thank you.
What y'all think about Marty? Y'all want Marty to come back? Y'all want Marty to come back? All right. We gonna make sure we get Marty to come back. We gonna put him on the calendar. Make sure. Thank you again, Marty. Thank you. This was part of our Father's Day.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the comedian. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'll let y'all go for now. I might eat something later. I'll come back. All right, y'all. Before I go, though, I still need y'all to do something for me. I need y'all to give this video a thumbs up. Comment below. Share it out. Share it out. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Remember, guys, we woke up today. We are blessed. We have another chance to give it our best. Go out and help someone become a better person and be the blessing that the world needs. Remember, if you can't love yourself, how you going to love somebody else? It starts with you. I love you. Shannon loves you. We all love you. We just ask that you love yourself. And yes, yes, yes. Lips Legacy 100. All right, y'all. Peace.